Hi everybody, I'm here today to show you some new CD finds that I've got. I have vinyl finds too, but I figured I'd put that in a separate video, and I don't really have that many, so wait till I get some more vinyl and then I'll do a video on that. Okay, I'm really amping up as far as the CD collection goes and trying to get a lot of things on disc. Well, to start with, I just did a video a while ago on the album Watertown by Frank Sinatra. I picked up 2 Sinatra CDs, trying to get some of the stuff on CD. You know, I said in that video that although he wasn't my favorite, I do like some Sinatra, some more vintage sound. And anyway, I picked this one up here, Only the Lonely, or Frank Sinatra Sings for Only the Lonely. Now, I don't have too many standard albums on CD by Sinatra, but let me open this up. I'm trying to think what year to get. As you could see, this is one of these, I guess you call it a digipack, these cardboard sleeve that I don't like. You know I prefer jewel cases if you're watching me any length of time. But you could see the discs in there at the Rainbow Capital. The booklet is attached. That's one thing you don't get all the time. The original vinyl from, I believe, the late 50s, of course, didn't have all this. So this has 2 discs on it. The first one is the original mono. Then the second disc is the stereo, new 2018 mix from 3-track masters. And we have previously unreleased here, and we have bonus tracks on here. Okay, next up, I just picked this one up today and I haven't opened it yet. Arranged and conducted by Don Costa, Sinatra and Strings. I was watching a video last night by someone who actually reviewed all 55 albums, and I think Sinatra technically has more than 55 albums, but he did 55 albums from worst, if you will, or least best to best. By the way, he put this as number 1, which I don't know if I'd agree with that from some of the ones I've heard, but this was also in the top running, Sinatra and Strings. Okay, next up, you want to hear something completely different? How much different can you get than this one? Okay, we have here the best of Lita Ford. Lita Ford, get the hard rock, heavy metal sort of, from the Goddess. Former Runaway. CDs are still cool, folks. They're still cool. And this, of course, has a jewel case. I love jewel cases, man. If anything should happen to this, you can just get a new one and replace it. If anything happens to cardboard, you're stuck. Anything happens to that, you can't repackage it. Look how easily the discs come out. You got that little hub. Pop it in, snap it on. This ain't going anywhere once it's closed. And now, keeping in the strange realm, Best of the Waitresses. I like the sound of the singer's voice on here. I like Christmas rapping. I bought the single back in the day for I Know What Boys Like. You know, whether or not I'm going to like the other songs, I don't know. Take a moment here to take out the book. Comes with a booklet also, mostly text. All right, now let's go on to some box sets. First, I have Cash Unearthed, Johnny Cash. I've taken a liking to Johnny Cash over the past years, and I didn't know what this was. I bought it anyway because it was affordable. And then I found out, it's, I think, kind of outtake stuff, unreleased stuff, alternates, things like that mostly, I believe. The discs which I don't want to stretch this too much because apparently they're very tight in here. Don't want to stretch the discs too much from here, but you can see how they're housed in there. And this is a book that comes with it. All the details are here. Tell you all about what this is. This is I guess you kind of could say late Johnny Cash, and rarities. A lot of people who know more about this stuff can tell me. Believe it or not, I never had the last albums by Johnny Cash, the series that said Cash with the black and white. But there's some really good stuff on there, so I've heard. And although I'm still catching up with early stuff here and there, it'd be nice to listen to some of those. All right, next up, let's change again. These are all different styles of music here. I am proud to show this. I've got no problem. The disco box. 4 discs of all sorts of disco glitz. I grew up in the disco era at the time. I thought disco was silly. My sister loved it, my little sister. I really didn't love it, but I began to love it. And look at that. There's the discs there. I gotta say, out of all the types of CD boxes that they make, talking about the Johnny Cash one I just saw, or these, for example, this is my favorite. They're like a book, mini books. They like books, and they go in there nice, slender. These are probably my favorite style. Lots of good stuff here. I can't even name everybody. There's so many artists here, but also there's a book. I guess they got Blondie there for Heart of Glass, but talking about all artists, and of course Donna Summer. How much did I love Donna Summer? I got to tell you, I loved Donna Summer back in the day, and I still do. This is, disco was just, no matter what they say, and here's some Jackson 5 for you too. Happy, fun, upbeat music, dance, have a good time, and that's not a bad thing, is it? So anyway, I'll play that over certain trips when I'm driving the car. Okay, finally, what I want to show you, this is a real risk, this one. This is from Germany, and it's a giant box set. Now, where I said that I like this size box the best for CDs? And I could I can deal with this size box too for CDs, but this size, Lesley Gore, It's My Party, okay? These are like LPs. This is a nice set. Now, this has, I believe, 5 discs in here. And I always love the hits by Lesley Gore. And this is a subject I'm often saying. We talk about this a lot. I love the hits that we know. He or she must have 4 or 5 songs that I really, really know I love. And I've tried listening to some Lesley Gore on occasion. And I like her voice, but sometimes the songs are lacking. Now, this is a risk, because I've got 5 discs here, and here they are. Here's how they're housed. I don't want them to fall out. You got 4 discs there. Very nice presentation. And then on the bottom here, these come out. You've got the 5th disc kind of hanging out down there on the bottom. All right, I'll show you a little bit of the book. But 5 discs worth of Lesley Gore, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about when it comes to certain artists where I don't know if I really want to hear everything. All right. There's so many pictures in here. This is such a nice book. I checked this book out. And this is just a really nice collection. As I say, when you try to put these together and you want things to be uniform, the question is, how much space do they take up? They don't really align very well, you know, with other things. I'd rather have them more uniform, like that Disco Slender set, but can't have everything. Anyway, those are my latest CD finds. I'll try to do some vinyl finds. As I say, I got a few LPs already and at least 145, but I want to try to get a little more before making the next video. So thank you. Please subscribe if you want to watch more, and I appreciate it, everybody. Thanks.